And good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. You're back with the Midwest Express. Today I want to talk to you about a new app. And I know I've been turning out a lot of these new ideas with you guys, but it's the beginning of the year. Spark, Uber, Lyft, Ship Shopper, they're all dead in the water right now. I am not busy enough to keep myself going. So I have been doing a lot of research to kind of share information with you guys about some other opportunities out there. And one of them I want to talk to you guys today about is Draver. Now, Draver is an app where you will deliver vehicles, people, and parts even, possibly. So I've been doing Draver for a couple months now. I want to say back in August, I had an Uber ride that I had picked up from a Penske truck shipping company. And on the way back to his destination, he was explaining to me that he was a driver for Draver. And I was like, what is Draver? And he's like, oh, we move vehicles around. So in between different trucking companies or auto industries. So between different dealerships moving vehicles, and sometimes it's people's personal cars that they want to ship across country, and they just pay somebody to drive their personal vehicle around. Also, some companies are using them to move personnel and also parts. So it kind of piqued my interest after having a conversation with them. I went online, I did some research. There's not a whole lot of information out there about Draver. So I was like, well, let me dig in a little bit more and apply for this. So I applied for it, and I think halfway between my getting all my documents and everything submitted to them, I just got caught up in something else and just didn't finish the application process. So about a month and a half ago, I had a representative from Draver reach out and call me and say, hey, John, you never completed your application for Draver. And I was like, oh, geez, I forgot all about that. It kind of impressed me that the company reached out to me to make sure that if I needed any help in completing the application and whatnot. So I was like, all right, they obviously need and want some drivers, so let me go ahead and finish the application process. So I finished it up. It didn't take but a couple days. And what do you need to drive for Draver? Well, you have to have a driver's license. That's the big thing. And you got to pass a background check. That's it. That's all you need for your initial request from Draver. Now, once they do the background check, then you will have to give them your direct deposit information to set up a bank account to get paid. And that's fairly simple. And it is direct deposit, no other company involved where you have to get a debit card or anything else. And also, you need to complete their onboard training, which is kind of like a simulated pick up and drop off of a vehicle. And it's pretty adept. They really take their time to make sure that you are trained the Draver way and you understand exactly what's expected to you. But this is a lot more in depth of a company than a lot of things, because you might be delivering a couple $100,000 vehicle somewhere, and they want to make sure that you're taking the correct pictures and explaining and documenting everything that might be wrong with that vehicle before you even get on the road. So their onboarding process is kind of interesting, and it's fun too, because it's not a real delivery yet, and it kind of breaks the ice for you there. Kind of shake off the nerves a little bit about what's kind of expected of you. Then once you complete the onboard training, you've done the bank account, you're ready to go pretty much. Now, getting signed up for Draver is one thing. Now, there's different levels of what opens up opportunities for you with Draver. Like I said, you don't have to even have a car to drive for Draver, right? But here's the thing. The more qualifications and things you bring to the table will open up how many jobs you can get offered by Draver. And let me give you the examples. So the first thing based on how many jobs you'll see post for Draver for you is going to be the market you're in. Obviously, if you're in a very rural community, people are not requesting vehicles to be moved around so much unless there's something just in your area that Draver has a contract with. So if Draver doesn't have a contract in your local area, this might not be for you. The more metropolitan you are, the more opportunities there are for you. So if this is really rural, might not be applicable to you. Number two, what type of license you have. So if you have just a regular driver's license, that's fine. You can drive for Draver and deliver vehicles. However, if you have a CDL or you're experienced in driving bigger vehicles, box trucks, large trucks, semi-trucks, then that opens up more opportunities for you. And there's different blocks that you check along the way to make sure that the jobs are offering you that you're actually qualified for. So you don't have to worry about that so much. But the more license or higher license you hold, the more job opportunities there will be for you. Again, you don't have to have a vehicle. Now, also another block that you have to check in the app is, are you experienced in driving only an automatic vehicle, or can you drive a manual? Do you know how to drive a stick? If you're not proficient, don't check that block, and then you won't get offered jobs that require you to drive a manual vehicle. So they've already thought that out. So if you're thinking about it, well, I've never drove a stick before, I don't know if I want to do this, Draver's got that figured out for you. And just so you know, I'm not sponsored by Draver. This is just my channel. If you guys have been here, check out my other videos. I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is just information I share with my subscribers and hopefully help you guys out. So next, I said, you don't need to have a car. You don't need to have a vehicle. However, if you do have a vehicle, that opens up more opportunities and job offers from Draver. And this is the reason why. So that customer that I talked about that I had picked up as an Uber ride, and I took him back to his destination where he picked up that truck and delivered it. This is how Draver works. Draver will take the driver on a return trip. So if you pick up a vehicle in Chicago and drive it up here to Wisconsin, they are going to get you transportation from Wisconsin back to where you picked up the vehicle. So that's a cool thing about Draver, is you get that return paid for by Draver. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get back. And about a year and a half ago, Draver and Uber teamed up. So quite often they will use Uber to bring their drivers back. Now, another option is if you have your own vehicle, you could get assigned to be what they call the chase vehicle. The chase vehicle follows the drivers that are moving those vehicles, and you will follow them from where they pick up the vehicle all the way to the destination, and then you will give them all a ride back to the beginning of the destination. So, and as the chase driver, you're getting paid to do the trip there and the trip back. Vice when you don't have a vehicle, you're getting paid just to deliver the vehicle. So that's kind of how that works out a little bit. Also with the chase vehicle, you're getting, I believe it's 32 cents a mile on top of the job pay that you get for gas and wear and tear on your vehicle. Now, 32 cents a mile is not that great, but that's just the way it is. Just giving you the facts of how much you earn per mile for gas and wear and tear on your vehicle. Now, the bigger the vehicle you have, the more jobs you can qualify for, because if you have a larger vehicle, you could take more passengers back. Sometimes Draver will run 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It could be a whole slew full of vehicles all at once, and they want one vehicle to bring them all back. So for me, in this vehicle, I could actually put 6 people. I put 5 additional passengers in here just to open up how many jobs I could get offered by Draver. So you guys can look at that. If you're going to be the chase vehicle, the better the fuel economy, as in any kind of delivery, the better off you'll be. So I will do a more in-depth video later about Draver. I just kind of wanted to touch the water with you guys a little bit, explain a little bit of what Draver's about. I think in these leaner times, it's super important that we're taking a look at what other opportunities are out there and how you guys can make ends meet, especially during the slowdown until we get into the spring. Once the springtime comes, I think things will open up a little bit more. But hopefully you guys get some value out of this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you know the next time I post, especially if you're interested about any of these gig apps that I'm talking about, because I post at least 2 or 3 times a week. And we'll hit you on the next one.